So welcome back. As promised before the break, we make our way now to the Northern Cape, where the Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies, that's Minister Khumbudzo Ntshavheni, is expected to officially switch off the last analogue transmitter in the Northern Cape. Now, the switch off will happen in Upington as part of the department's move to digital transmitters. And the move to digital is also expected to be completed by March 2022. Our reporter Neria Hlakptsa is in Upington attending the official switch off. So let's take you there. Neria, good morning. And just to give us a sense of what has happened so far and what is expected to happen, we hand it over to you.
Good morning to you. Of course, today we do know that the minister will be switching off of the analog transmitters to digital here in the Northern Cape. I just want to show you, before just going further, to show you that the difference between analog and digital, this is what we see. So the move from analog will basically mean, more than anything, clearer pictures. It will also free the spectrum. But what I'm going to do also right now, because while we are here, this is where the switch off is going to happen, and the minister will be switching off that button. Maybe, Minister, we can start with that before then I speak to you. And that is exactly what happens, Sakina, when there's this switch off. If you look at the analog TV right now, it has switched off and we left with digital. But one thing that the department is saying, that as soon as analog is switched off, those who have the set-top boxes will be now connected to digital transmission. Let's just talk to the minister, because I'm seeing here it takes a bit of a while for it to kick back in. The minister, when we're looking at this, perhaps after the switch off to digital, when can residents expect to get their TV sets running again?
Actually, if you see the two TVs, when we switched off, the digital TV did not switch off. So the ones who are on analog, they will not be on analog. So because when we install, we reset them to digital. So when we switch off, they don't see the difference. It's just that they continue to watch the television. There will not be a blank space. There's a blank space on your television, on the other television now, because it's not set for digital. So everybody who will receive that is because they have not migrated, they have not set themselves for digital. Any other person who have set themselves up for digital television or digital viewing, they will not notice even the switch off themselves. That's what happened to the TVs. That's what we brought them here, to show you what happens. To say, when you are on digital, the switch off, you won't even notice it. But when you are on analog, you will then get a blank space.
Speaking of analog, we do know that those that cannot afford to either use satellite or the other options that are there, they need to apply to get the set-top boxes. How's that application going?
Now, the applications are going well. And like we've said when we started the programs, that majority of South Africans are already watching television, either on DTH, or they're already watching television with your terrestrial or DTT compatible television set. So the applications against popular views, some sponsored views, the applications are sitting at, last month, October, we had around just over 48,000. This month in November, just above 30,000. So we're not seeing huge numbers coming up, and that's what we have said, that it's not majority of people that are left behind. Majority of people are ready for the migration. So the purported blackout of television will not happen.
And speaking of that, Minister, also, you are confident that by March 2022, there will be a complete move to digital. We know this is a long time coming. I mean, decades. We were expecting this in 2012, 2015. We even did not manage. Now, how confident are you for March 2022?
Like I said yesterday, a day before yesterday, the briefing, now we've got 2 provinces down, and we've got 7 to go, and we are going to switch off the third one. I think in the coming 2 weeks, we are going to switch off Northwest to show you that we are on the roll. And this is within just 2 months of launching the project, that we are already talking about 3 provinces that are going to be off. So we are confident, and we're not foreseeing any problems as we go forward. And that's why we also brought the chairperson of the SABC, because the SABC is the largest free-to-air broadcaster, but they are our our obligations is to make sure everybody have access to SABC television, to show you that the SABC is confident that we are doing this right. We are working with them in that partnership to move over. But I think the other issue that I want to just raise when I'm here in the Northern Cape, in Upington, why is it important that we came here? South Africa is part of the square kilometre array, which is radio astronomy technology, with Australia and the UK. And that is, they need what you call radio silence, because they need the radio astronomy without interference. So our ability to switch off the Northern Cape extends the radio silence beyond what they call the SKA core to a larger space of a 3,000 kilometer radius that they are targeting. And it allows us to then fast track the ability to survey the astronomy quicker and much brighter. And why is it important to survey the astronomy? That's where you get your weather services, that's where you got your climate predictions and all those things. So it's important that we are here and that we have achieved the switch off in the Northern Cape, because we have a contribution to a larger scientific and research project, not only for South Africa, but also for the world.
Okay, I just want to move now quickly to the board chairperson, just to find out, Mr. Makatini, to say, we saw this is an SABC transmitter. Last month in the Free State, we finished basically transmitting everything to digital. Have you seen any problems in terms of your viewership? Are you hearing any complaints?
No, we haven't seen any challenges, because what we have got a risk metric that basically the team goes to the ground and just check to make sure that everyone has migrated. Of course, in instances where there may be people that may have fallen off, the Centec team has made a commitment that they will make sure that those people get attended to and get connected to. We cannot afford to lose any viewers, but we fully support this process, because it will enable the SABC to operate in a multi-channel and a multi-platform world, which will then help us to be able to fulfill our mandate fully and comprehensively.
Thank you so much for your time there. That was the Minister and the SABC board chairperson. Basically, we are talking now digital. We will be visiting some of the houses here in Upington just to look at how this move has affected them or has changed their lives. Like I was saying, the pictures are really clearer. And of course, now the spectrum will also be freed somehow, because you must remember that analog takes a lot of bandwidth. And that is something that has been a problem in terms of finding more solutions. It has been a problem somehow. And analog is so far from everything that it's old. It's from the 1940s. So you can imagine it is time really to move with the times, because we know that the 4IR era is also here. But let me just leave it there for now. And then we will be talking during the day also, just to show you as we move across Upington area and to speak to residents to see if anybody was affected by the switch, or people are basically happy for a clearer picture.
Thank you so much, Neria. And as you say, interesting, and we'll be looking out for those responses from residents. And I do think perhaps we should do a little bit more, because we've been receiving questions from people who are not too sure about the process of application for the set-top boxes, and also just explanations, because there are certain TVs that will be affected, but later model TVs not affected at all. So perhaps we need to spend some time just breaking that down. But that's where we're going to leave it in the Northern Cape. The last analog transmitter in Upington switched off there by the Minister this morning.